Hi everyone, this is Tracy from WeCraft at Home, and as you can see I'm going to show you how to do the impossible card so that you can cut out the pieces on your scan and cut. I was going through YouTube and I see someone do it with dies, and I just thought, do you know what, we have so many ways we can do this sort of thing on scan and cut and we kind of forget. So I just wanted to show you. I worked it out myself. If you don't want to actually do the design yourself, I will make it available on my group, WeCraft at Home group, where all my files that I do are available for free to download. So let's get on with this. Okay. So I've coloured them so that you can see the bits. So you can either have them going all the way round or you can have separate bits. Done it with a circle and a rectangle. Now this bit, it's the same for both because I've measured it. So with the impossible card, what you're doing is turning one of these sides, whether it's this side or this side. You're turning it. You imagine this bit flipped vertically and the piece in the middle here is going to be up. You need this to connect them two and keep them secure. And you'll also, as you can see, this will also have a bit that you have to connect and keep secure. You need like two of these, but I've got other ideas for that as well, which I'll chat on about later on. I'll do the rectangle and the circle, but obviously you want to do a square. It's just you can do any size you want, any shape you want. You've just got to figure out that you need this bit for the middle. So as you can see, it's all the same. So let's do the rectangle first because that is the easiest. I'm just going to group them all so it's easier to move them all. And I'll move them all over. If I leave that one there for now. So we're using the shapes in the program. And what I wanted to use a typical A5 size for us because that's the easiest one to work for. So I know that the width of an A5 in inches is 8.15. And that says that the height makes it 571. I'm just going to check on a ruler because I know it in centimetres. That looks about right for me, so I'm sure it's the right size, so I wouldn't change any of the size on that. So that's our main square, as you can see. And then what we're going to do is, I always like to start on the zeros, just in case we need measurements where it matters where it is. That's what we're going to start on. So if I bring this over here, you can see what I've done. So for the rectangle, I've made the two sides come in at 2 inches. For the circle, I've only done 1 inch. But for the rectangle, because it's wider, I've done 2 inches. So I'll move that back out the way. Okay, so it's on 0, 0, 0, 0. So we know, first of all, the best thing to start is with your line across, and we want that third line down. It's the best score line that I know, but we're going to keep it all the way across for now, and then we're going to grab both and go through the middle so that we know it's properly centered. And then what we need is another line. This is the cut line. I'm not even going to bother measuring this because I know, again, they've got to go down the center. So everything now is centered as it should be. Now, because we're doing 2 lines, you can't center it or anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one there, and I know it's roughly around the 2 inches. So we need the next line on 6.15. And I know it roughly, but not exactly. So we come over here and you can see we need to move a little bit. So I'm using the arrow keys and moving to 6.15. And then we do this one. and that's spot on too, so I've done all right there. So they are now all in place, like here. So then the next thing we've got to do, I'm going to do it in layers because it's easier. The line that's going across, and we are going to bring it in so it's level with the cut lines, the 2 cut lines down the bottom, like that. See, like this one. So now we have 1, 2, 3 cut lines, and then that one across. So now all we've got to do is the mats to fit inside. So it's easy enough. We want one of them and we want one of them. I'm just going to bring them both down. Now this one you can see almost fits in. So all I'm going to do is bring it down a little bit, and there we go. So we need one for here, and I'm gonna we need to bring it up to the line so that we have separate parts. You can make them a bit smaller if you prefer. I just like a thin line, to tell you the truth. And then I'm going to grab them both. I am going to duplicate, and then I'm going back to edit, and I'm going to flip horizontally and bring them over here because it's exactly the same that side. But all I'm going to do is bring this one up, grab them both again, and make sure that they are together on the right here, and then weld. And so you've got your shape there, and you've got the shapes you need there, so it's just this one. And if we duplicate that, we just need this one a little bit longer. Okay, so then all we're going to do now is grab all the mats, not the main card. And we are going to go inward. I've done 08 because I like 08, but you do what you want. Round corners, but it doesn't, it keeps them sharp. Not the bevel corners I didn't want. So that gives us 2 layers. You can do as many layers as you want, and that is it. It is that easy. And then you just, you need the other rectangle. And what you need to do is make sure that it goes over this line and this line, like that. And then if we bring it down, we know that's long enough. I think that's right. Yeah, maybe make it a bit longer. But another idea I've had, I've got lots of dies with words and things like that, and I just thought it might be nice to just do a word if you've got the mat to cut it out as well, and just put your greeting as the joining part. And I will show you that when we're over at the craft room, but for now that is how you do the rectangle. So I'm going to get rid of this one because it's exactly the same as this anyway, so that I can show you the circle. So obviously we have to start with a circle. Now this one I decided to do, this one I've done at 6, but I'll be honest, I would normally want to do it at 7 inches. 7 inches is my favourite card, but that means you do the shape of the card at 675 so that it'll fit into a 7-inch envelope. Again, let's just see if we move it. You see, I'm using the arrows, and now I'm going to do the X so that we're back at 0, 0. Now this is a little bit harder. I mean, most of the stuff's the same. We're still going to have to start with our score line, because that goes straight across the middle and we want it going through the middle. and then I am going to just make it into a score line, and then we want one cut line going down from the center to the middle, so that's centered. And then, like I said before, I done 1 inch. I'm sure I did. Let's just measure it against this. Yeah, so each square is 1 inch, so I know that I need to do it about there. You can do it a bit bigger if you wanted, but I think 1 inch is nice because it gives you a big panel, central panel to work on. So there's one, so I'm going to do that and straight down. So I need to put this at 5.75. So if I just move that to 5. Okay, so again we need to click on the score line and bring it in so it's into the cut lines. And there we have our basic card again. Now, doing the panels for this one is a little bit more difficult because you've got to fit the circles. So I know for sure that this one is going to fit in there, hopefully. I just need to make it a bit bigger. So that one fits nicely in there. And then I need a slither, don't I? I think I use that one. Turn it around. I'm going to type it in so it goes exactly to 90. And I know I need it a lot smaller. And then I'm going to click on it again. So there it brings up the nodes, because the nodes are important here. So that one's not important, but that one I need to add one and put it up here. Right, let's go in close so that I can show you properly. I need to go up about here, I reckon. And then we need to change it to a straight line, which is this one here. Then we can see it a bit better. Okay, so that one needs to come down a little bit. And then this one needs to come in. And don't worry, we're going to sort that out as well. Actually, we're going to click off the hide the control. So you can see here, and then what we need to do is meddle around with these, which can be quite frustrating, but you will get there. So you can move them up and down where they come in and out, or like out or in, like that. Okay, we need to get them so this dot needs to come out just a little bit, and then we can play with that, and there you go. And that's probably the most difficult one. So let's go back out. So we've got them two, which means we can duplicate and flip again, like we did with the other one. But this time, what we need to do is make this go up. And this will have to come out a little bit so they join. There we go. I think that's right. Let me just check. Oh, maybe one more. There we go. And don't worry if it's not exact anyway. So we'll grab them both and we'll weld them. Okay, so the shape left is the one down here. And for that, I done this one again. Okay, so we're going to click on it again and go back to the nodes. Don't think we need the control points. We just need an extra point there. So that's this one, add point, and there we go. And then that one I want up there, and this one over there. There we go. So now we've got all our parts. We're going to go select all the mats and offset. Again, inward, like I said, I always use 08. And there we go. That gives us mats for everything. And it's all ready. Now, what I'm going to do, I've got so many kits that I just don't use because I'm always cutting out things on Scan and Cut and things like that. So I've decided for this make, I'm going to use some of my kits. Now I'm also going to make an oval and a square just so that I can show you what they're like, but they all follow the same method really. Just how much this, because this is the bit that sticks up, okay? So it's how much of this that you want in the middle for everyone to see. So I'm going to go over to the craft desk and I will see you over there. Okay, so I'm over at the craft room and I'm going to do the rectangle one from the beginnings, just so that I can show you everything that I've done. I've done a couple of other ones and I'm going to finish off the last one so that I can show you what I've done. I'll just get them. I forgot about them. So I'm a bit of a mess because I've got bits all over the place, but I wanted to show you as much as I possibly could. Okay, so this is the card you are left with. The main rule, all you are doing, don't worry about the middle bit. So you've got these two flaps here and all you are doing is flipping one over the other way. And that is your base. So what you need to do, and I'll tell you this because I made the mistake myself, is make sure you cut the parts the same way that you do the card. Because I made the mistake with the oval, and I'll show you when I get to it. So all I've done this on a red card, and the kit I'm using, it was a red and black kit from, it was either Kanban or Paper Dynamics. I can't remember which company it was. And it's loads of different stuff that's just in red and black, but I love it. And I've never used it. So anyway, I'm just using a black chisel end to go round the edge of the paper just to give it a bit extra so it will stand out a bit better on the red. If I show you, you can see the difference between doing it with no black outline. If I show you the two. So it just stands out that little bit more. And then this is going to go on the front. That's going to be my main thing. I mean, I was originally going to use this on the square, but I changed my mind. And then I was going to cut it down, but I think when I saw this, although it was a bigger topper, I cut the topper down. So it was the same picture, but I just cut it down so it's just the top of her, and I think I prefer that. Okay. So I will just stick all the bits down. before I start embellishing it, I just had them. Oh. So I've got some, don't know why I've got 3, that one's not part of it, in black. So the actual bars are going to be in red with a black bit going across like this. On the front I've done heat foiling, You Are Fabulous, and all we're going to do, the easiest way to put these on, this is why I've got my my thing out, is because I want to make sure that the squares are straight. So now I'm lining it up against the grid so that I know that it is straight and that the card is straight, because it won't want to go straight first of all, like that. And then we are going to use the grid again. Oh. To put where we want it. Now come on, behave. There we go. And then again on one of these I am going to put it on pads. And then we'll turn it around and we'll do the back so that we know it's the same. So we're just going to glue the two ends. Let me turn it to the side so you can see a bit better, I'm hoping. So all I'm doing is making sure that the card itself is lined up against the lines. So I've got this line here and this line here. And then I'm just putting that so it goes across the lines going the other way. Do a bit further down, I think, about there. There we go. And although this one is just a straight black, we're still going to do it on pads. And then what I'm thinking, I should say the reason I've done black with gold is because the black bits here have gold on. The black bag has gold on, and even the red bag has gold. So there is gold there. I haven't just introduced a new colour. So we've got one on the back and one on the front, and that is what makes it sturdy. So now we want to decorate. So I stamped and cut out 2 little sentiments. This is the big one that came with that lady. Originally I was thinking maybe I could somehow do it up there, but I actually think I prefer one of these. So if I just put that one there and then the other one on the back. So I need I think I'll just do one little square in the middle for this one and just have it like that. There we go. And then this one could go along there. I think that might look nice. And I think actually, to be honest, I'm just going to glue that one straight down. I think that'll look just as nice straight down. There we go. So that's sentiments. And then these also came from the pack. They were toppers, and I cut them out because I don't want them as toppers, but I really like them. Who doesn't like shoes? And look, red bottom shoes. Who wouldn't want a pair of red bottom shoes, let's face it. Okay, so I'm going to do one strip there and one strip there. I think we might have these ones at the front because they're just so. Like I said, I went through a lot of my toppers, like sets that you get because you think, oh yeah, like me, I love shoes, and this set had like shoes and Paris and red minis, all sorts in it, and I loved it, so I wanted it, and then I never used it, really. Okay, so I'll put them at the back like that. And there we go. Just a nice, happy card. And that is how you do the whole, no matter what you're doing, that is how you do it. So I'm going to show you the two that I made ahead in a minute. First of all, I just want to show you my next one. So let's try and get this right. This is the oval, and what you've got to do is the same thing. So you're bringing one, you've got it like that, and you're bringing one round. So it's the same effect. I've done it on acetate that had like a brick effect. I don't know if you can see it, like a wood effect. And then I've put craft card on it because this is going to be a man's one. So I've done like a brick wall to go on top. And then we do the same thing. So we line up our lines with that. And for this one, because I'm doing it as a man's card, I've done the craft card with Happy Father's Day on. It's only around the corner, guys, so I thought it was best to get on and do an happy Father's Day. So again, I've cut out the brick wall. I've only cut it out of Pro paper, but I'm lining it up like I have been with everything. And then we'll do You don't have to use foam tape, you can glue it obviously. So that's the front one, and then the back one I just left it blank. I thought there's bound to be something we can put, or you don't have to put anything on it at all really, do you? If you like it quite simple. I think the biggest problem we ever have is trying to find generic men's cards, like for someone that don't like spool, or the main thing is spool, isn't it? And I have two. I have a father and a father-in-law that are the same. They're not sporty. They're not really drinkers, although this one is a bit like that. So these are going to stop your card from flapping around, and it will hold them steady, and then they just tilt up like that. This one, be careful when you're folding it, because I split it a little bit. I was too rough with it. Where's my topper? Okay, I've lost my topper. So it's the same as that, but on this side, except I've lost it. And this is one I cut wrong. I wonder if it'll... No. Oh dear. Okay, so I'll just show you what I'm going to do. Sorry about that. Don't know what I've done with it. So these are... It's a kit from Design Bundles called Gentleman, and I just done this myself. So I've done it so that he was leaning against them, and then had a bigger one in the foreground with a drink on it, and then there was a glass and a cigar on its own. So it can just be just little extras, or you can do it as 3D or put it on the back. But it's simple. There'll be a brick wall there obviously, and you need to do it so it looks like this one is more forward. But it's it's a kit from Design Bundles called the Gentleman. So you get so much in there. I've used this, but he can be leaning against a lamppost, a post box. There's one with him on a horse, him just walking into the foreground. There's a lovely car there, and then there's all lots of little bits like these, and there's like cufflinks and a pocket watch and all sorts of things like that. It's a really great set. I'll leave the link below if you want to go and take a look. I loved it. It gives you something different to play with. So obviously there'd be a brick wall there. I could show you it from this side, I guess, with the brick wall. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Why didn't I do that? There we go. So it'd be like that, with Happy Father's Day on 3D foam pads. And then you just you can add some more embellishments. I didn't think it'd need some more, but now I'm thinking it might do. But anyway, that's my oval one, and that's my Father's Day card. I'm just going to put that over there. So then I done the square one, and I used last year's Christmas Hunky Dory kit. So it was like a nativity one. So that says A Child is Born, that says Oh Holy Night, and then I've got the three wise men with, I used the borders that you get on the papers. The background is also on one of the papers, and this picture on it, so I've still got that I can use. And then on the back I've got two more toppers of the baby.
And I don't think it really needs anything else, but if you wanted to, you could still add snowflakes or stars maybe. Stars might look nice. And the tags have also got the holes in, so you could put some twine through there just to add a bit if you wanted to. But that's the square one I done, and then I think this is my favourite. But the circle one I done, this come undone again. I done using the Quirky Bird dies. I just recently bought them, but I couldn't resist using them. I thought they'd go perfect on one of these. So I've used the smaller fairy, the birds and the trees. I've used one of the backgrounds because you get like a whole set of backgrounds with it that are like amazing. So, missed one there. Yeah, so there's loads to choose from, and you can just, that's the one I used. So, it's a lovely set, I've got to say. You get all different sized birds. As you can see, I've got 3 different sized birds on there. And that one looks alright against a small fairy, I thought. I did cut out some ivy as well, but it's too big. I think I might have been able to snip into it and maybe done that coming down. But I just, I didn't want to do too much. So I've done the birds on the logs. A few little flowers. Again, this one is too big. I could have put it there, but I just thought I'll leave that. I did get mushrooms as well. I had some little mushrooms from my tattered lace, and I thought I could just put some little mushrooms here and there, which I'm still thinking about. But everything else that I cut out was too big. That's the big size fairy. She was too big. So I couldn't use her. I don't know where my other mushrooms have gone. But I had a set of mushrooms that I was going to maybe add as well, and I think that might add a nice bit of colour. But other than that, there's just that, and then I've done another little wording at the back. I do like this one, it's really cute, I think. But that's just 4 different styles of the Impossible card. I hope I showed you decently enough how to use it. If you're still confused, just send me a message, get in touch with me on Facebook, and I will help you as much as I can. Keep losing the lid of my glue. Other than that, go and have fun, use all your old stock, and I'd love to see some pictures as always, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.